take a look at Genesis chapter 6. We started in our devotional reading at chapter 6, verse 5, and around verse 13, we kind of wrapped it up. But verse 9 is really the verse that I'm going to pull everything, going to exegete everything from verse 9. Environment. I can be in a place where there's violence, there's a place where there's civil unrest, there's a place where there's a pandemic, there's a place where there is sin, there's a place where there is wickedness, but I don't have to be wicked. Noah was he was in a terrible place. So for folks to say, I really can't help myself because my mama did this, or my daddy did this, or my cousin and them did this, or everybody around me do this, and I can't, the reason I sling crack because, my uncle was doing it, and my cousin and them was doing it, and I was involved in it. The reason I'm on the pole because my auntie was doing it. No, you can't use that. You can't use that. Or because my daddy beat my mama, I beat my girlfriend. No, you can't use that. Amen. Because it says, amen, that although I might have been exposed to it, although that I might have seen it and it might have traumatized me, I don't have to repeat the behavior. Amen. Because Noah, in the midst of wickedness, here it was. Wickedness was great in the earth. Let me use your word. Wickedness was great in the earth. Lying was great in the earth. What else was great? What's the word you use again? I keep forgetting. Deception was great. And what was your word? Spitefulness, amen, was great. We're in Genesis chapter 6. Right now I'm at about verse number 8. Spitefulness was great. And what's your word? Evil was great. I mean, it was widespread evil, calculated evil. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, can you agree with me today that we look around in our culture today and you see calculated, consistent evil? Yeah. Come on. I mean, you hear folks in leadership, amen, will say everything but God. But God. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, there was a time, amen, that when you would even stand to talk about America, you would say, God bless America. But now speeches take the name of God out. Amen. I was asked to pray one time. I'll tell y'all this story, and it was like Alpha and Omega situation with me. Amen. They asked me to pray down at City Hall, and I was warned. They said, look, when you pray, Reverend, you can't say nothing about Jesus when you pray. I just want to warn you now. You say something about Jesus, you ain't going to pray down here, amen, at City Hall ever again. I say, are you sure? I can't say nothing about Jesus. Man, when I got up at that mic, I mentioned Jesus as much as I could. And I'm praying in the name of Jesus. I plead the blood of Jesus over the mayor, over the council members in the name. Give us wisdom in the name of Jesus. The one who hung, bled, and died and rose again early Sunday morning. Y'all give Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for letting me pray today. the praise. Wickedness is diametrically opposed to anything about God. Amen. Wickedness is literally an enemy, amen, to the agenda of God. And God says, look, I see wickedness is widespread. I'm sorry that I made man, and this is what God said. I'm going to destroy the earth because of it. In the midst of corruption, in the midst of a pandemic, guess what? God still speaks. God is still talking. The Bible says, and God said something to Noah. God spoke to Noah. Let me try it again. God spoke to Noah. Now, God speaking to Noah, here's the principle that God does talk to people. Y'all follow me so far? God talks to people, okay? And this is the message it's telling us. It's telling us that God does not tolerate wickedness. So you can parade big dog like you want to, amen, thinking that you can just be wicked and it's all right. No, not at all. Because God says that I will not tolerate wickedness. And God said that when I see wickedness, I will eradicate it. God says I will get rid of wickedness. And when God's, eradicate wickedness, it's a very harsh thing. They used to have this procedure when I worked in surgery. They used to call it, they do a radical procedure. So if a person had, a disease, a tumor or cancer, sometimes they would have to go right at the cancer, but they would have to take everything around it, right? Because that cancer is probably invaded of the tissue. So they would have to do a radical procedure, be extremely aggressive to save a person's life. Watch this. God was extremely radical, amen, to literally save mankind. And what God says in his radical move, he says, I'm going to destroy everything but Noah. Are y'all catching this? Because it leads me into principle number 3. Principle number 1 is my environment don't have to corrupt me. Principle number 2 is God speaks in the midst of the violence, in the midst of a corrupt culture. God is still speaking. Do y'all believe God is speaking now? Oh yeah, he is speaking. He is speaking loud and clear now. Because some of the systems, some of the things that man has depended on for so long has now failed them. They have seen it right before their eyes. It has failed them. Now they're saying, amen, they're looking and they're saying, well, God, if you are who you are, why did you let all of this happen? That's easy. Wickedness. That's real easy. It's not God is being unfair. God is doing a radical move to wake some folks up. Because of man's wickedness. The blame, if you want to blame somebody, it's man's wickedness. All right? It's man's wickedness. And we know it's man's wickedness because the Bible says this. It says, if my people who are called by my name, I'm going to try to teach it, not preach it, will humble themselves and pray. Now y'all know the point. And seek my face and turn from that's that word again, from their wicked ways. He said, then will I hear from heaven. Yeah. And I will what? Forgive their, here we go, sin. And I will heal their land. Now, wouldn't it do well that every person that is in leadership would acknowledge that biblical truth if you're ready to change? But we know that men want what God has, but they don't want God. Yeah. Kind of like before I got married. I wanted what the little girls had, but I didn't want it. I know that'll wake some folks up. Amen. Amen. Get a license for my dog, but I won't marry you. Okay? So here it is. Here it is. And I knew the skanks. I'm sorry. I just knew I could use them. I knew I could. I wasn't no good. They weren't no good either. out then. Hallelujah. Okay, so here we go. They got medicine that will cover the symptoms now. It ain't the cure, it just covers the symptoms. You still diseased as you want to be. Okay, let me go back. Wickedness. See, now, and you know that's an act of wickedness. I just want to cover the symptoms, but I don't want the cure. Yeah, so watch this. But Noah found grace. That's verse 8. I'm up to principle number 3, but watch this. Verse 9 just tell you about Noah's family. But if you read this closely, and I've done some really close investigation, and what I mentioned earlier was this story about the flood is one of the most widely studied narrative in the Bible. Now, if you spend any time in church, any time in a Sunday school program, any time in vacation Bible school, you would have visited the story of Noah. Noah's Ark. Come on, there pictures of Noah's Ark, amen, everywhere. I mean, T-shirts, Noah's Ark. Yeah, children's book, Noah's Ark. Some grown folk think I ain't got to read about Noah and the Ark. That's children's book. Let me tell you, no, it's a grown-up book. I'm going to tell you why it's a grown-up book, because these principles that I'm laying out to you, amen, will help you grow up. Amen. Number 1, amen, we just pointed out, I need y'all to talk back to me. What was principle number 1? I can be in a corrupt environment, but don't let it happen. Look, it don't have to corrupt me. Come on. Number 2 is God does what? God talks to me. So I can't say, I don't know what God is saying. I don't know what's going on, child. I don't know what's going on. You lying. Yes, you do. You know what's going on. You know what's going on. Wickedness is going on. And righteousness is necessary. Yeah. Come on, somebody. All right. So it's point number 2. Point number 3 is what? Come on. Talk back. Number 3. I ain't get to it. Probably a habit. Because God has a plan. See, that's why I'm glad I know my lesson. God has a plan. God has a plan. Why? God speaks. But God speaks because God has a plan. Yeah. Did you not know that even in what we're dealing with now, how it started, when it started, what's going on in the midst of a pandemic, don't you know that God yet has a plan?